He didn't just break my heart, he shattered my trust. So I decided to shatter his world. This is the story of how I found the texts that proved my boyfriend was cheating, and how I made sure his mom, his dad, his brother, and his best friends all saw them. This wasn't just about getting even, it was about taking back the truth. Because the secrecy of an affair is a weapon, and I refuse to be the only casualty. For 3 years, I really believed I was building a life with my soulmate. We had that kind of love you see in movies, or at least the kind you post all over Instagram. We had our inside jokes, a favorite booth at a local diner, and a 5-year plan that ended with a little house and a golden retriever. His name was Alex, and to me, Alex was everything. He was warm, he was charming, and everyone, both my family and his, just adored him. They all saw him as this perfect stand-up guy, the one who called his mom every Sunday, who helped his dad with projects, the loyal friend, the perfect son. That was the image. But an image is just a story someone tells you. And Alex, it turned out, was a very good storyteller. Our relationship felt so perfect because it was carefully built to look that way. Alex was a master of the big romantic gestures in the small, thoughtful moments. He'd leave little notes on my car, bring me coffee in bed, and he always remembered the little things. I loved how close he was with his family. His mom, Carol, treated me like the daughter she never had. His dad, Mark, would pull me into talks about politics and sports like I was one of his own. And his younger brother, Sam, felt like a brother to me too. We were a team, or so I thought. The first crack in the perfect picture was so small you could barely see it. Just a little shift in his routine. He started working late more, but whenever I'd ask about his day, the details were fuzzy. His phone, which used to just lie around anywhere, was suddenly guarded like it was a state secret. He'd tilt the screen away from me or flip it face down the second I walked into a room. When I tried to bring it up, he'd just laugh it off. Just stressed with work, he'd say, "Don't you trust me?" He was an expert at making my real concerns sound like my own insecurities. It was always my problem, not his. He was just tired. He was just busy. I was just being paranoid. And because I loved him, I believed him. I wanted to believe him. It's amazing what you'll tell yourself when the truth is too painful to face. The truth, like it usually does, came out because of one careless mistake. It was a Tuesday night. He was in the shower, and his laptop was open on our bed. A notification popped up, a message preview from a name I didn't recognize. "Can't stop thinking about last night," it read, with a little heart emoji next to it. My own heart just stopped. For a second, I couldn't move. I just stared at the screen, completely frozen. It felt like the floor had vanished from under my feet. It's a feeling nobody prepares you for. It's not just shock, it's physical. A cold dread that starts in your stomach and spreads until you're numb. With my hands shaking, I clicked on the message. His iMessage was linked to his laptop, and there it was. Not just one message, months of them. A whole secret life laid out right in front of me. Conversations, pictures, plans they'd made. This wasn't a one-time thing. It was a whole other relationship. The details were sickening and intimate, and they ripped apart every single memory we'd built together, painting them all as a lie. I saw texts from nights he told me he was working late. Messages from the weekend he was supposedly on a fishing trip. My head was spinning, trying to match the man in those texts with the man who kissed me goodbye that morning. The person I loved didn't exist. He was just a character he was playing, and I was just an audience member. The shock wore off, and this white-hot rage took its place, but it was a cold, calculated rage. He had built his world on a foundation of lies. And I decided right then and there that I would be the one to burn it down with nothing but the truth. The next morning, I called in sick to work. I felt this weird, chilling sense of calm. The grief was still there, like a heavy weight on my chest, but it was buried under this sharp, clear purpose. My first move was to go to the person whose opinion he cared about most, his mother, Carol. I didn't call her. A phone call can be argued with, dismissed. I needed the proof to speak for itself. I took screenshots, dozens of them, the absolute worst ones, the ones that left no doubt. I attached them to an email with a simple subject line, "The man you raised." In the email I wrote, "Carol, I'm sending this to you because I've always known how much you value honesty and integrity. I loved your son, and I thought he loved me. I found out last night who he really is. I'm heartbroken, and I wanted you to hear the truth from me. I'm so sorry." I hit send, and my hands started shaking again. 2 hours later, she called me, sobbing. At first, she tried to find an excuse. "Are you sure? Maybe it's a misunderstanding." But the proof was right there. Her denial turned to devastation, and then to this quiet, deep anger not at me, but at him. "He swore to me he was happy," she cried. "How could he do this to you?" I had just cut off his main source of unconditional support. The first domino was down. Before I get into what happened next, if you've ever been through anything like this, or if you're hooked on this story, think about subscribing. Sharing our stories is how we start to take our power back, and your support really does mean the world. Next up was his father, Mark. Mark is a man of principle. He's all about character and doing the right thing. So with him, I took a slightly different approach. I forwarded the same email I'd sent to Carol, but I changed the message. "Mark, I always respected how you spoke about integrity. I thought you should know the kind of man your son is when he thinks no one's looking. I won't be speaking to Alex again, but you deserve to know why." His dad didn't call. He texted me about 3 hours later. I have no words. "I am so sorry and deeply ashamed. Thank you for telling me." It was short, but I could feel the weight of his disappointment through the screen. I knew Alex's relationship with his dad was built on respect, and that respect was now gone. For his brother, Sam, I just texted him the screenshots. No words, no explanation. We were close enough that he didn't need one. He replied instantly, "I'm on my way." 20 minutes later, he was at my door, looking completely pale. He just hugged me. "I had no idea," he kept saying. "He's my brother, but this is unforgivable." He was angry, confused, and felt betrayed himself. Alex hadn't just cheated on me. He'd made a fool out of everyone who believed in him. The last step was to pull away his social safety net. His two best friends, Jake and Tom, had become my friends too. They were at our anniversaries, our housewarming, all of it. I sent them a group text with the most brutal screenshots. My message was blunt. "Just thought you guys should know who your best friend really is. For the last 6 months, while you were celebrating with us, this was going on. I'm gone. Good luck with him." The reaction was immediate chaos. My phone just blew up. They were stunned, and they were angry. They felt like they had been part of a lie they didn't even know existed. Jake called me, furious with Alex. "We were just with him last week, and he was talking about proposing to you. What is wrong with him?" The friend group was completely fractured. They had to pick a side, and with undeniable proof staring them in the face, siding with Alex meant they were okay with his lies. I waited a full day. I let it all sink in. I let the frantic, angry calls he was definitely getting from his family and friends do the work for me. By the time he walked through the door from work that evening, his world was already falling apart. He came in, and he knew. He must have seen it on my face. Or maybe it was just the deafening silence in our once happy home. "What's going on?" he asked, trying to sound normal, but his eyes were wide with panic. "My mom called me. She was hysterical. My dad won't even answer my texts." I didn't say anything. I just slid my phone across the kitchen counter, open to the messages. He looked down at it, and every bit of color drained from his face. He started to stammer out the classic lines. "It's not what it looks like." Just let me explain. Explain what, Alex? I said, my voice dangerously calm. Explain the months of lies. Explain her? Did you think I was that stupid? And that's when he got angry. When the shame got to be too much, he turned his rage on me. You had no right, he yelled. You went to my mother? My father? What is wrong with you? I laughed, but it was a broken, empty sound. What's wrong with me? You broke us. You destroyed everything. All I did was turn on the lights. I just showed them the truth. Your lies were the problem, Alex, not me finding them. He looked at me, and I think he finally realized he had no one left in his corner. He was so used to controlling the story, but it wasn't his to tell anymore. He was exposed, and his world, which was held up by the love and respect of others, had crumbled. I packed a bag that night and left. I never spoke to him again. I heard through Sam that his family held some kind of intervention. His relationship with his parents is strained, maybe forever. His friends kept their distance. He lost the respect of every single person he had spent his life trying to impress. For me, it wasn't a feeling of pure satisfaction. There was no victory lap. It was just a painful, brutal, and necessary act of survival. Exposing him wasn't just about hurting him. It was about taking back my own reality. It was about making sure the lie he created couldn't keep living in the minds of people I've grown to care about. It was about destroying the secrecy that lets affairs thrive in the first place. The trauma from something like this leaves scars. It messes with your self-worth, your ability to trust anyone again, and it can make you feel lost for a long time. But taking control of the narrative, the truth, is the first step to healing. He didn't get to walk away and paint me as the crazy, jealous girlfriend. Everyone knew exactly what he did. And in the end, that wasn't revenge. It was justice. And it was the beginning of me finding my way back to myself. If you're going through something like this, please know you're not alone and you are not powerless. Thank you for listening.